forget. Okay, perfect. Ladies, I'm so glad that you are joining me for day three, the final day in the 3-day Science of Getting Rich for Women Masterclass. And if you have been following along every day, if you have been participating in the homework and really digging in to the wisdom and the principles set out in this book, then I'm sure you are experiencing a shift of some sort. Your mind may be expanding. You might be receiving new ideas. And if so, that is absolutely perfect. That is my intention for these 3 days together. You know, I made a big promise to you at the beginning of this masterclass on day one. I said that you are going to know exactly how to achieve your next level of success and wealth. You are going to have a 20-minute daily ritual that, when implemented every day, is going to align you with conditions and circumstances and people that will support you in the fulfillment of your goal. And you're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel more fired up, more ready to take action and do the next step that's going to get you the results ultimately that you seek. Now, let me just recap real quick because, in these 3 days, I'm really just scratching the surface and I'm trying to jam pack as much value as I can so that you can receive all that is here for you. So, let me just do a quick recap. In this book, The Science of Getting Rich, that was written 115 years ago and has now been updated for women, for you, with language that speaks directly to your soul as a woman, he writes that the first step in the science of getting rich is forming a clear mental image in your mind of that which you desire. And in my world, in this 3D realm, we call that a goal. And a goal is meant to help you grow. The true purpose of a goal is to help you tap into unrealized and untouched potential that you have not yet explored so that you can rise up into greater levels of your power at the end of the day. Step number two is to remain in a constant state of gratitude for what you have now and for what is on the way. Now, yesterday, I didn't say that. Although I probably should have started it with that, we went right into the invisible force that is preventing you from achieving your next level of success. And that is your paradigm, your subconscious programming, your fixed habits and beliefs. See, the thing about step two that most people don't understand is that being in a constant state of gratitude for not only what you currently have, but for that which is on the way, that which is formless, that you cannot even see, that is working behind the scenes to come to you in the form of ideas, connections, collaborations, and ideas. We get tripped up here because because of our programming, because of our paradigms, quite frankly. And, we have certain habits and beliefs that we have been conditioned with and that are literally dictating our current level of results. And in order to change our results and get a different level of result, we've got to change our beliefs and our habits. But we are so programmed and so conditioned with this paradigm that things happen in our lives and we get derailed. We forget to remain in this constant state of gratitude for all of the blessings, all of the incredible things that you have and that are on their way to you. You know, to be honest with you, what I'm inviting you and teaching you about is really the journey of the master. This is all about self development and self mastery. And to be totally honest with you, average people, they don't do this work. They're not even interested in doing this work. Most people are settling for working their 9 to 5, living for the weekend, and tiptoeing to retirement. So hopefully one day they can live this dream life that they worked so hard to achieve. You get to live your happily ever after right now. You get to experience heaven on earth right now. And when you live in a constant state of gratitude for the wealth that is already in your life, for the abundance that you get to experience every single day, you become a magnet for more things to be grateful for. It is the law of cause and effect. He writes in chapter 7, which is one of my favorite chapters, by the way. It is entitled Gratitude. And he speaks of gratitude and relates it to the universal law, cause and effect. And he says, there is a law of gratitude. And it is absolutely necessary that you should observe the law if you are to get the results you seek. The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite directions. The grateful outreaching of your mind in thankful praise to the Supreme is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to which it is addressed, and the reaction is an instantaneous movement towards you. The more you are grateful, the more things you have to be grateful for. Makes sense, right? Sounds simple, right? But it really isn't. I mean, it is simple, but the integration and the embodiment of step number 2, it's not easy because it goes against your current paradigm. It goes against your current habits, your current beliefs. And until you change your current habits and your current beliefs, which is all inside of you, nothing in the outside world is going to change because the outside world is just a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. And so we talked about your paradigm and the paradigm shift that is to occur if you are to get the results you seek. You have certain habits and you have certain beliefs. And those habits and beliefs are dictating your current level of results. In order to get a different result, you've got to change your habits. You've got to change your beliefs. But that goes against everything that feels comfortable. The old saying goes, there's no growth in comfort, and there's no comfort in growth. You've got to get uncomfortable. In fact, you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So many people will register for this 3-day masterclass that I do. And I do this every month because it is my mission to spread the word of what is absolutely possible for you. Not only is it possible, it is your destiny. You are meant to be rich. You are born to be rich. And if you're not experiencing wealth and abundance to the extent that you desire, it is because somewhere along the lines of your life, you have created a belief that you are not worthy of it. And it might be so hidden and so deep in your subconscious mind that you don't even know it's there. You might say, "Oh, I know that. I know I am worthy of riches. And I know I am capable of making $25,000 a month or $50,000 a month," whatever the case may be. Your logical mind knows that, but it's not your logical mind or your conscious mind that is controlling your behavior. And it's your behavior that gets you results. Your subconscious mind is what is controlling your behavior. And until you get to the primary cause of your behavior, there is no permanent change. And so these habits and these beliefs that you have in your subconscious mind that are part of your paradigm, they are dictating your current level of success. And in order to get and achieve your C type goal, we've got to change your habits and your beliefs, which leads me to today, day 3, which is all about your self-image, your next level identity. Because you see, if you have a dream, a desire to expand into greater levels of wealth, to double your income, to have more freedom and more ability to come and go without worry about money, then there is a version of you that exists in the realm of potentials and possibilities that has already achieved that level of result. She's just not you. She's not the woman that is listening to me right here in this now moment, because she is a product of her current habits and beliefs. And so, how do we achieve this next level identity? Well, we've got to elevate, ladies. We've got to elevate. And it really is a never-ending ascension of elevating. Elevating our thoughts, elevating our feelings, elevating our behaviors so that we can become a match for more. When I talk about self-image in my Money Mind program, we spend 2 weeks on self-image because it is so important and it is so foundational to your goal achievement. Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to invest the time? Are you willing to pay the price? Remember, I said on day 1, when you create a C-type goal, there are only 2 questions you need to answer to change, to convert that idea into a goal. Are you able and are you willing? Of course you're able. You are an infinite spiritual being with deep reservoirs of talent and potential. Of course you are able. That's not even a question. But the second question really is the question that only you can answer. And that is, are you willing? Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to commit to the process? Are you willing to invest the time and effort and sometimes money? And if you are, then your results are inevitable. Mathematically certain. I am living proof. My clients are living proof. I also shared with you yesterday about my 20-minute Core 4 daily ritual that I have been doing every single day. And by the way, today I am celebrating 500 days of doing the Core 4 daily ritual that aligns me through visualization and autosuggestion with the version of myself who has already achieved my goal. And although I have not achieved my big C-type goal yet, I have achieved so many milestones along the way. If you're someone like me who loves data, who loves facts and evidence, then you're going to love hearing about my data and my clients' data. Because inside Money Mind, if you decide that you want to accelerate your results and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, quite frankly, and you really want to experience a quantum leap, when you commit to this process, your results become inevitable and you will start to experience all kinds of facts and data and evidence along the way to your C type goal. For me, myself personally, after the first after the first 90 days of implementing the principles in this book, along with my core four daily ritual and accountability. I had accountability because accountability is so important and oftentimes overlooked. My income increased by 354% at the end of the 90 days. And that was just the beginning because by the 11th month, just 1 month shy of a year, I quantum leaped in my business. I 5x'd my results in my business. And my results keep going up and up. In January of this year, I'm trying to remember the numbers now. I wrote it in a post. If you're on Facebook, um, definitely you're going to want to be friends with me because I share a lot of the facts and the evidence. I can't memorize everything, but in Q1, I believe my results were 8 times greater than the year before. In Q sorry, in February, it was 6 times greater. And then in Q1 of this year compared to Q1 of last year, it was 6 times greater. I might have those numbers just a bit skewed. I should have probably wrote that down. But you know what? The exact numbers are besides the point. If you want to know the exact numbers, just go to my Facebook and you will see because I share everything. I am so transparent because I am so excited about this. But not only me, my clients experience incredible results. And this is just proof and evidence to satisfy your conscious mind that this works. Mr. Wattles, who wrote this book, he knew what he was talking about. And it blows me away every single day. But here's the thing, we've got to get past your paradigm. It is your paradigm that is stopping you from taking action. It is your paradigm that is preventing you from making that decision and taking the next step. So many of you want change. You want a breakthrough. You want a quantum leap. But then when it comes time to actually making the decision and doing the work, your paradigm gets in the way and it wins. Your paradigm is so strong. It doesn't want to die. It wants to stay intact and it wants to keep you where you are. It is doing such a good job of that. And in order for you to achieve your next level of results, we've got to shift your paradigm. We've got to change your subconscious programming. And that takes action, which leads me to step number 3. And there's only 3 steps. It's quite simple. Not easy to integrate, but it's very simple. Step number 3 is action. Take action. Act now. You've got to do the damn thing. You've got to say what needs to be said. You've got to make the decision. You've got to decide. You've got to show up. You've got to do. Because again, it's action reaction. It's your behavior that gets results. It is the things you do and say and write that gets the results. You've got to act. And you know what another part of acting is? It's receiving. Receiving is an action. And here's what I see a lot with my clients because I only work with women. And most of the women that I work with are my age and older. Most of them are 50 plus. And I know that women of my age and my generation and older, we were conditioned and programmed as good women to believe that it's better to receive. Sorry, that it's better to give than to receive. Who here is familiar with that and feels that you have been conditioned with that paradigm? As a good woman, it is better to give than to receive. Giving is honorable and is humble, and giving is better than receiving. And I'm here to tell you it is not the truth. It is not the truth. In fact, giving and receiving are the same energy. It's like an infinity loop, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. If you are a woman who loves to give, who is so generous, so loving, and is always giving, when that energy goes out into the universe, it wants to come back to you. And if you are someone who has the paradigm, who has the belief that it's better to give than to receive, you are blocking your own receiving. You've got to become a better receiver. You've got to get good at receiving. And it's not selfish and it's not greedy. It is what you are meant to experience. You are designed to receive, especially as a woman. Receiving is a feminine action. It's a feminine energetic experience. You are meant to receive. You are meant to receive wealth and abundance and generosity and beauty and all of the wonderful things that are here for you. But if you are denying or rejecting things that are trying to come to you, how is it possible for you to expand into this next level identity, this next level worthy, wealthy woman? So understand that it's important to be a good receiver. Now that I'm bringing this to your attention about receiving, I want you to notice as you go about your daily life, when someone offers to give you something, do you receive it with grace and gratitude? Or do you question it and deny it and reject it, thinking that it's humble and it's polite to not receive? I mean, something as simple as a compliment can be the perfect place to start. How many times has someone complimented you on your hair or your outfit or the way you smell or something about you? And instead of receiving it with grace and gratitude, you deny it by saying, oh, this old thing? I've had this for years. Oh, I only paid this for it. Or you diminish it, you devalue it. The next time someone compliments you, I want you to hear me in your head, and I want you to receive that compliment with grace and with gratitude. And I want you to say, thank you so much. You just made my day. It's as simple as that. And did you know that by receiving with grace and gratitude, you actually give the person that is giving to you a gift? Because you're making them feel good about giving to you because you are a good receiver. On the contrary, do you know how awkward it feels to give someone a compliment and they don't know how to receive it? It is so awkward, and I guarantee you that person will never give you a compliment again. Receive with grace and gratitude, and then you will have more reasons to receive with grace and gratitude. This is how it works. And that is just something simple. But when you can master those tiny things, then you start moving on to big things. Let me tell you the story of a client that I have. Um, she was working on her ability to receive. She was not a good receiver. She was a great giver and she was so generous. She was always giving to her friends and her family her time, her energy, her expertise. And I told her, you need to practice receiving because if you want to level up into this next level, worthy, wealthy woman, you've got to become a better receiver. And so she started practicing her ability to receive. And you know what happens when you start practicing something? The universe or God sends you more opportunities to practice. At first, she would receive something small, like, winning something little, getting a free parking ticket. Like it was just the small stuff, right? And she would take note and she would share in the group. And then one day, after becoming better at receiving, she received the most generous, beautiful gift she has ever received in her entire life. And she was blown away to tears. She stood up in one of her dear friend's weddings. And after the wedding, the bride and the groom, who were both her friends, they used some of the money that they received from their wedding to send her to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat because they knew how much she loved Dr. Joe Dispenza and how much she really wanted to go to one of these retreats, but she just couldn't afford it. She just didn't have the money for it. She was blown away to tears. She couldn't believe the generosity that she was experiencing from her friends, giving part of their wedding money to her in the form of this ticket so that she could go and experience this thing. She was completely blown away. And I said, you know why, right? Because you have been practicing receiving. And what happens is the universe, God, knows that you are receiving better and more and greater. And then, boom, you just got the mother load. Can you receive this with grace and gratitude? Can you allow it in? Can you believe that you are worthy of this gift? With tears in her eyes, I mean, she was on the celebration call with us one day. With tears in her eyes, she was overjoyed in awe and amazement at the grandness of this most generous gift that she had received. And the floodgates just opened after that point. Receivership, your channel of receivership needs to be wide open. If you want to be able to experience more money, more clients, more business, you've got to open up your receivership channel. And it's not greedy and it's not selfish. It is what you are designed to experience. So receiving is a form of action. It is something you do. Pay attention to how well you do it. The more and the better you are able to receive with grace and gratitude, the more things will be sent to you to receive. And it's just going to compound. It becomes magical. You start to experience what I call heaven on earth. This is the way your life is designed to be. You are meant to experience heaven on earth now. You are meant to experience your happily ever after now. And the only thing that is in the way is your paradigm. It's your subconscious programming. It is your habits and your beliefs, and those have got to change. But they're not going to change overnight, and they're not going to change in 3 days of this masterclass. They are going to take months. And if you are really serious about getting the results you seek, the best thing you can do is to make a decision that you're all in, that you want to do this, that you are ready, you are willing to do what it takes. And when you make the decision and you commit to the process, your results are inevitable. It sounds so cliche, but it is absolutely true. I'm proof, my clients are proof, and I continue to expand on that proof as more women like yourself feel the pull from within, feel the alignment of this truth, and say, yes, yes, why not me? Why not now? Let's go. So, your self image is also a paradigm. The way you view yourself is a part of your paradigm. Your self image is so important, it needs to be addressed and it needs to change if you are to change your results. You can't stay doing the same habits under the same beliefs and expect to get a different result. It's not possible. It won't happen. We've got to elevate your self image. We've got to elevate your habits and we've got to elevate your beliefs. So I want to invite you to think about the woman who has already achieved your big C type goal. Whatever that is, 25K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, the number doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that she is a next level version of you. And I invite you to take a page in your notebook or in the workbook that I have provided for you and start jotting down some characteristics, some habits that she embodies. How does she show up in the world? What time does she wake up in the morning? Does she prioritize her well being? Does she take care of her body? Does she nurture and nourish her body with healthy food? Does she avoid gossip? What kind of clothes does she wear? What kind of content does she consume? What kind of books does she read? What kind of podcasts does she listen to? What kind of people does she hang around with? All of these attributes and attitudes and characteristics are part of your next level. That's where you're going. So when you can write out a list of 8, 10, 12, however many feels good to you, and you can start reciting them, reading them every day. Remember, constant spaced repetition is the key to changing your paradigm. The more you read these statements about who you are, the more you will embody those characteristics. Every single day after I'm done my Core 4 daily ritual, I turn to the back of my journal and I start reading all of the things that my next level self embodies. And once I embody that characteristic, I check it off. I only have things on there that I do not yet embody. Part of your self-image affects your confidence and your self-worth. Someone who has a really good, positive, powerful self-image is confident. And your confidence affects your ability to set goals, to achieve goals, and to experience greater levels of success. But I want to go back to this um, bit about self-worth because self-worth is everything. If you don't believe that you are worthy of your C-type goal, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters because you will sabotage your efforts at every opportunity. You probably won't even know you're doing it because it's so subconscious. Something that I have come to realize and learn about wealthy women because over the last 5 years, since I have gone into full time with my business, I resigned from my very successful six-figure corporate job. I resigned from that. And as I've been building this business, I put myself at the table with women that are way beyond where I'm at. I certainly don't want to be the smartest woman in the room. I want to expand and learn and grow. So I'm always surrounding myself with women who are way wealthier, way more successful, further along than I am. And one thing I've noticed about really successful women is number one, they have high standards. They have high standards and they are not people pleasers. They do not sacrifice their own well being for other people. They take care of themselves first. They fill their own cup up first because they know that they are the most important person in their life. They take care of themselves first and then they give from an overflow. They serve from an overflow and they have fierce boundaries and they do not let people cross them. This is really important as you think about your own standards and your own boundaries. This might be part of your new identity. Are you a people pleaser? Do you sacrifice your own well-being to serve others? If if it's part of your morning ritual that you take care of your own self first, and someone reaches out to you and they want you to do something for them, do you stop what you're doing? Do you sacrifice your own well-being to help another person out? And I'm not talking about those like odd emergencies with your family or whatever. I'm just talking about in general. People are always asking for help. They're always, needing things, wanting things. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your time, your well-being for them. As the women inside Money Mind have elevated in their self-worth and in their identity, they no longer people please. They no longer bend over backwards and sacrifice their own well-being for others. And this aligns with their next level worthy, wealthy self. So, as I was talking about worthiness, I wanted to share something really powerful with you um, called the three keys to worthiness. And I don't know where you stand on this topic, but if there's something about this topic of worthiness that is making you curious, that's making you wonder where you stand in this area, I want you to focus on these three keys to worthiness. Because as women, as a woman who works with women, I've come to notice this common thread in all of us at some point where we feel unworthy or we deny our worthiness. And ultimately, this has to improve if you are to experience the results that you seek. So, the first key to worthiness is that you are deserving and you are enough just as you are. That's right. You are deserving and you are worthy just as you are. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to do anything different or achieve anything more. You don't need another certificate. You don't need more credentials. You don't need more alphabets after your name in order to experience wealth and riches. You are worthy just as you are. And so do not deny the truth of this. Do not deny your ability to feel worthy. And the easiest thing you can do is affirm this every single day with conviction and emotion. Remember, it is the emotion that matters. It is the feeling that makes the difference. And you can affirm on a regular basis, as many times as you can think of throughout the day, I am deserving, I am enough. I am deserving, and I am enough. You keep saying that multiple times a day throughout the day, that's a paradigm shift right there. You do that multiple times a day, every day, for weeks on end, you will experience a shift. You will start to believe it. At first, it might feel awkward and it might feel a little silly, but I guarantee you, after you do that multiple times a day, every day for weeks on end, you will start to feel different. You will start to believe it. And then it will become your truth. So you are worthy and you are enough just as you are. You are an infinite spiritual being. You are God in a body. You are born to experience all the wealth and all the prosperity that is here for you. Key number 2, you are not your past stories and you are not your mistakes. Look it, you're not going to get this far in life and have no mistakes, no regrets. I mean, it's wonderful if you can live with no regrets. And I certainly try and live with no regrets because everything is a learning lesson at the end of the day. But there are some things that I look back on and really feel like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Especially being a mom with 3 kids. I've been divorced twice. I've lived a lot of life. I left home at 14 years old. There are some things I wish I would have done differently. And for a long time, I carried the burden of these old stories, of these past experiences. And until I realized that that is not the truth of me, that is not the absolute truth of who I am, could I then release and rise up? So forgiveness is a powerful tool. Forgiveness is absolutely essential. If you are holding on to judgment, if you are resisting anything in your past, you've got to let it go. You've got to release it because your old stories, they're not the truth of who you are. And so forgiveness is a powerful tool to help you align with your infinite worthiness. And if this is one of the keys that jumps out at you and really touches you in your heart, then you could affirm every day on a regular basis, I am forgiven. All is forgiven. I am forgiven. All is forgiven. You are forgiven. You are not your past, and you are not your old stories. So let it go and accept your infinite worthiness of wealth, of success, of prosperity, and of riches. It's all here for you. And then the final key on the 3 keys of worthiness. I love this one. This one's actually my favorite because you can actually start thinking and feeling worthy right now. Right now, you can decide, I am worthy. I feel worthy. That is the truth of who I am. You don't have to go to therapy. You don't have to spend hours and thousands of dollars regressing into your past, going through the old stories. You don't have to do any of that. Let me save you time, energy, and money. You can decide right now, in this moment, I am worthy. That is the truth of me. I feel worthy right now. Start thinking like you are a worthy woman. Start feeling like you are a worthy woman, and start acting like you are a worthy woman. Now, just like that, you get to decide because you have all the power. Let it be a practice and let it be fun. How worthy can you allow yourself to feel every day? Now, let me tell you where you will get tripped up when it comes to this key. You will be listening to me speaking this and you will feel fired up and you will feel really aligned. You'll be like, yes, I am deciding I am worthy. I am thinking like a worthy woman. I am feeling like I am a worthy woman, and I am behaving like a worthy woman. And then this masterclass will be done and you will go back to your old habits and your old beliefs and your old life. And then you will walk by the mirror and you will catch yourself and you will say something negative about the lines on your forehead or the curves on your hips, and you will deny your worthiness. And you will judge yourself and you will shame yourself. And then all of a sudden, you are out of alignment. This work requires intention, constant intention and focus. And yes, it takes effort. And yes, it requires energy, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Because if I could show you right now, if I could like open up my phone and show you a version of yourself 1 year from now, and I said to you, this is you 1 year from now. When you make the decision and you commit to this process, this is the version of you that you will become. And she feels so confident. Her self-image is next level. because she has embodied more of her power and her absolute worthiness. She looks taller. She is experiencing more results, more success as a side effect of this work. And I could say to you, was all of that intention and focus and energy, was it worth it? You would say absolutely. Absolutely. Of course it is. When the result is a life that's like heaven on earth, like heaven on earth. Your happily ever after, it's awaiting you. It is here for you. Do you believe you are worthy of experiencing it? Do you believe you are capable of embodying it? Because it's all here for you now. It's all here. I'm telling you. I, myself, and my clients, we experience this every day. No matter where you are right now, I guarantee you, if you make the decision and you commit to this process, you will grow so much. You will need a telescope to look back and see how far you've come. That's how much you will grow. Now, this concludes day 3 of the 3-day masterclass. And if you're with me this far, if you have been joining me live or watching the replay every day, trust the timing of your life. You are here for a reason. And notice the feeling in your body. When you feel a pull from within, if you're curious about something, if you're excited about something, if you come alive about the potential and the possibility of something, that is connected to your heart and soul. Your heart and soul's purpose is to guide you forward into greater levels of your worth, your wealth, your power. But then your paradigm kicks in, the invisible force that wants you to stay right where you are. It wants you to not change, to not grow, to just stay in the known, stay in what is comfortable and what is known. And it's doing its job and it is powerful. Pay attention to the way you feel and notice your thoughts, because it is your thoughts that are connected to your paradigm. Your paradigm's job is to create fear, doubt, and uncertainty. And when it does, you don't take the next step. You don't move forward. You don't do the thing that's going to get you the results you seek. And then paradigm wins, you stay where you are, and nothing changes. What is the cost of staying where you are? I mean, if you're here, it's because you want something more, whether it's more freedom, more travel, more experiences, more ability to help your family, to do things, to have things, to experience things. The only way that you're going to get the results you seek is by battling your paradigm. And that is the cornerstone of Money Mind. Money Mind is a 6-month mentorship and mastermind experience where we go through very methodically 12 modules. each one building upon the next. Module 1, we get really clear. What is it that you want? That's the clear mental image. Module 2, you begin to understand your marvelous mind and how it works and how it is dictating your current level of results. Module 3, that's when the rubber hits the road and you start getting results because it's the paradigm shift. And when you start shifting paradigms, that's when things just start to blow off and pop. Money Mind is all about results. It's not fluff. It's not all feminine energetics. It's about results. Results are the name of the game. Your results are my results. And my results and my clients' results who are in the Money Mind are proof of what's possible for you. Now, if you are curious about where your blocks might be hiding, what they are, what your next step is, if you would like to get more clarity, you just don't know what's next for you or how to do it, I want to invite you to book a call with me. I'll put it in the chat. Um, this is where we go deep into your personal life, one-on-one, privately. And regardless of whether or not Money Mind is the right fit for you or not, because I'm not here to check a box and make a sale. I am calling in soul aligned women who are ready to get results. Regardless if you join me or not, you're going to walk away with some tangible action steps that are specific to your mind and your life. Leonora, I don't think that you booked a call yet. Did you want to book a call? Because I have a feeling we can have a really good conversation. I'm just calling you out right now because you have been with me every single day, and that says something. So I highly recommend you book a call with me. And if anyone else who is watching this live with me now or is watching the replay, there will be a link in your follow-up email to book a call. I don't know how many spots I have left, but I think there are still a handful of spots left. Book that call, take that next step. You've got nothing to lose. This is about your next level identity, your success, your C-type goal. So with that, ladies, I want to just mention to you that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, I always offer a coffee and clarity chat. It's a very informal session where I just open up a Zoom room and it's not a presentation, it's just a coffee chat. And if you have any questions, I can answer your questions. Even though I am away on holiday, I am still opening up that opportunity for you to get support. I might be on the beach. I don't know where I'll be, but I've got a business with time and location freedom now. So I can serve and I can connect anytime, any place, anywhere. So that'll be happening tomorrow. And if this is the end of our time together, I invite you to be friends with me on Facebook because I am always sharing all kinds of things that will uplift you, inspire you, support you towards achieving your next level results. I also offer a lot of free things besides these monthly master classes that I do. I love having fun. In fact, fun is one of the three pillars of my business because I believe the more fun we have, the more money we can make. And so every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, I have Friday dance breaks. And me and the ladies come together in a Zoom room to shift some energy, raise the vibration, and just have some fun with music and movement. And that's every Friday. And then Sunday evenings, I have meditation with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have purchased this amazing meditation called Tuning In to New Potentials. And it's all about achieving your C type goal through this powerful meditation. And every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I open up a Zoom room and I play this powerful meditation from Dr. Joe Dispenza. So if you want to stay in my world, you want to stay connected, then you are on my email list and you will be receiving reminders for those things that happen every week. But regardless of what your next move is, know not only are you worthy of wealth, it is the truth of who you are. It is the absolute truth of who you are. And the more you embody this truth, the more you align with this truth, the more the world, God, source, infinite intelligence will send you conditions and circumstances and opportunities to experience it. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's stay connected. Now go and be rich. Okay? You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.